This is a hosta that's been on the top of the rockery here for 2 or 3 years. One of the first ones we planted. It's quite a big plant when it went in. This is Pauls Glory. However, the problem with it getting so big so quick is it's produced green leaves instead of the lovely variegated ones. So at some point this summer, I'm going to dig that up, remove all the green and replant it with the proper variegated colour. I won't do it now because it's a little bit warm and we're in for some more warm weather, and it's quite a large plant to keep moist up here, particularly at the top of the rockery. So come back again, we'll have a go at this and you can see the result at the end of the day. We are back with Pauls Glory. As I said before, there's a lot of green leaves. This is what we commonly call reverting. This one is quite serious. There's a lot more green than there is the proper variegated stuff. So we're now ready to dig this up. Preparation is important. We've watered this for 2 or 3 days now to give it a bit of oomph so it doesn't suffer too much. And we've got tools for doing the job, water for watering cans for watering once we're finished, and some new compost and soil. In that compost there is plenty of leaf mould, and I've used 1-year-old leaf mould as opposed to 2 because that will hold the moisture better in the bottom of the hole. Because once we get this replanted, it's back at the top of the rockery in the most dry place you could possibly put it. But we're going to go ahead with it and I'll get it dug up now. Dig around the outside of the clump. And you go all the way around the clump to loosen it. Don't try and force it out beforehand. Then what we're going to do is to try and split it whilst we're up on the rockery. Now we've got the whole plant out of the ground. As you can see, it's a reasonable sized root ball. What we've now got to do is look for where we can cut it. There's no point in fannying about with this. You've got to use a spade. It's a good solid root system, and prizing it apart with a couple of forks just doesn't work. So we're going to split it in half, then we're going to put it back in the hole, but we're going to make the hole a lot bigger and put a lot of this compost and stuff in there to help along. Appropriate place to cut it. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to split the plant and pull the 2 different types apart. And then we're going to have another look at it. As you see, it's quite tough. Doesn't matter if you break a few leaves along the way. There's not going to be a lot left of the original plant. That's the original. That's the green. Now we'll maybe replant that in the garden somewhere. Now let's have a look at this section. Looks a little untidy, but in general looks healthy enough. And there are no green leaves, so that can go back happily into the ground. Decent sized hole, much bigger than the root, and what I'm going to do now is to give it a head start by filling the hole with water. As you can see, the soil is very, very dry. Right, now we're going to put some of the compost into the hole, and hopefully some of that water will mix in with it and it won't be too bad. So it'll still be moist. Decent hole, and then plant the plant back in the hole. If she goes at the same level. fresh compost in. And backfill with the original soil. Firm it well. Look a little sad. It's a hard thing to have to go through, but it will recover. I'm now going to give it another watering. This will help settle the soil in between the roots and hopefully keep it moist for a day or two. I will have to keep watering this for quite a few days to come. There's a full bucket full. It'll do it no harm whatsoever. I've planted what's left of the Pauls Glory at the top of the rockery. This was what we've dug out as being the reverted specimen. Apparently its previous parent was Perry's True Blue, but I've no idea whether this is like that or not. So what we're going to do is tidy up the top a little bit, cut it in two, split it into two decent sized plants and plonk them back in the garden.